Good morning, good morning, good morning. Look, happy Saturday. I have not been on this Saturday in a minute because we have been on different times. So I want to say, first of all, we are on the Flint Urban News Station, Black Money Matters. So we're on both of those platforms. That's a platform that is started and created by Mayor Karen Weaver, Dr. Weaver. And we have a special my producer is different, a wonderful person, Landon Hendricks with Hendricks Studios, located in downtown Flint on the bricks. Landon, how are you?
I'm over here muted. When you said my name, I just wanted to do this. All good. Everybody's good.
Listen, good. Landon Hendricks is located in downtown Hendricks Studios, and he is my producer for today, trying to get back on that Saturday morning thing. So to each and every one of you, do me a favor, click, like, share. Melissa, Diane, good morning. Sonia, Dr. Padroni, Auntie M, H Spag. Listen, I'm trying. Rhonda Akins. So I'm going to try to share this out. We're not going to be on here for 25 hours, okay? We're not today. Today, we are not. Mimi Comer, if I missed your name, charge it to my mind and not my heart. And I want to say a big thank you to moderators today. Patrick Jean, how are you? He will be our moderator. He got a little wrench by the name. He will be moderating to keep everyone in the chat pumped up and make sure we stay on track. So good morning also Kathleen Trouser. Good morning to you. I have not had coffee, y'all, and I'm going to be honest. Diane Thornton, Tonya Simonson, H. Spag, Rhonda Akins, Merck 76. I ain't going. Okay, well, listen, now it's about to mess up. Tara. Okay, listen, I need to share it out to some groups and some different things. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. So some of our topics are going to be number one. Is going to be this race. People are talking about the race. People are concerned about the race. Hey, Debbie Clark, Debbie and Diane, the twins. So one of the big things is the signatures. You know, that the signatures look the same to you. To me, a lot of them did when they were put up on the digital board. Good morning, Belinda Patton. And so that was something that was interesting. They're going to be having, I believe, Beverly Biggs Levy is having a press conference on Monday. I don't know the time at Burston. Hey, JWC, Councilwoman Winfrey Carter is in the house. So listen, so she's going to be having, it's going to be a press conference and she's going to be doing it. I don't know the time yet. I don't have that time, but I do want to talk about that race because that race has got a lot of people talking. And were there issues? Yes, there was a report that was filed, a complaint. And the complaint, obviously has some validity to it because the complaint was forwarded over. You don't send complaints over if there was nothing to that was concerning. So before the complaint went over, first of all, let me state that the city clerk has a responsibility to look for discrepancies, irregularities, and other things that may be of issue. And so we do know that there were issues. Some of the things that were happening, the number of write-in ballots, there were issues that they have stated as far as how the applications were received and how the ballots were returned, the signatures. You can't touch those absentee ballots at all. And I don't think for people who've never ran a race, you don't know. Hey, good morning, Tasha Lynn. People really don't know. But there was a warning that went out July 3rd and in it stated that how to handle an absentee ballot for residents, and then also Dr. Producer Jay, you didn't get my text message. Good morning. And it tells you how you can and cannot handle things. And so one of the things that we have to make sure is that how do we handle them? And a lot of these things, how they were handled, were clearly sparked some interest. And with this sparking interest, that's not a good thing. In Flint's history, no one has ever won a write-in. The closest person to win a write-in was Reverend A.J. Pointer, and Inez Brown was the city clerk then. And he was the closest. So this one right here raised a lot of heads because there were people who made complaints that they were allegedly that LaShawn Johnson had written in the names on the ballot. You can't do that. You can't do anything. You can't touch that ballot. You cannot have the ballot in your possession either. You can't. The envelopes, you can't write outside on the back of the envelopes, and you can't fill out the ballot. You can't touch it at all. But if you do, you might earn yourself a felony. And that's the truth. So I know some of the things that, they're looking for with Beverly Biggs and AC Dumas is that they're looking for handwriting experts, and what do handwriting experts look for? So we're going to get into that. So good morning, Kevin Giles. And so anyone else, if I have not said good morning to you, charge it to my mind and not my heart. So let's begin. So the general election results were, as they came in, unassigned, 328 unassigned write-ins. That means it could have been to LaShawn, it could have been to Daffy Duck, Mickey Mouse. Beverly Biggs had 225 votes. AC Dumas had 192 votes. There were only two names that were on the ballot. That was Beverly Biggs Levy and AC Dumas. Total votes cast was 745. Those were the total number of votes that were cast total. So that is a very low turnout, but this is the only thing in the city of Flint that was actually on the ballot. The only thing. Election day was interesting. The clerk said they had many complaints. It's a highly contested race. We did the road to the third ward election. We did that on Tuesday night. That was a pretty long show where we had different opinions. We covered how absentee ballots should be handled, applications, ballots, and those are two separate things. And so we are going to get started. So we're going to start with what were the results. So ABC 12. So can we play the ABC 12? And we're going to listen to this together. So there would be 103 votes that went. So there would be Dr. Petroni. So there would have to be 103 votes that were not legit for LaShawn.
The Genesee County Board of Canvassers confirmed it has completed its review of each write-in ballot for Flint's third ward city council election. However, the seat remains vacant as election results are not yet final. ABC 12's Tonya Jordan has a story.
According to the Genesee County Clerk, the race cannot be certified until the Board of Canvassers collects all military and overseas ballots, which can be accepted and counted up to 6 days after the election, as long as they're postmarked by the election day. Canvassers will also have to give people who voted by mail 3 days to fix any issue with their ballot.
Meaning that they turned in an envelope without a ballot inside, or they forgot to sign the envelope. Legally, the clerks are required to contact those individuals.
And the clerk says there is a process for voters to fix issues with their ballot.
Now, to make that correction, they do have to come in with a photo ID, prove that they are who they are, make sure signatures match. So all of that has to happen before we can certify the election. Candidate absolutely should never be touching ballots.
The clerk says he has received information alleging some candidates may have mishandled absentee ballots, a claim that has not been confirmed, but Clemens says if true, it will be a crime in the state of Michigan.
The law says only somebody that resides in your household can handle a ballot for you.
According to Michigan election law, it is illegal for anyone other than the voter, their immediate family member, someone in their household, a mail carrier, or an authorized election official to return, offer to return, agree to return, or solicit to return an absentee ballot. Clerk Clemens says it is up to local law enforcement to investigate any allegations of ballots being mishandled. I reached out to Flint Police Chief Terrence Green, who says at this time he is not aware of any complaints of that nature. Lieutenant Kim Vetter from Michigan State Police says, quote, there was an individual who inquired about that topic. They were referred through the proper process at the Secretary of State to report election fraud. If and when SOS requires and requests MSP involvement, we will assist. In Flint, Tonya Jordan, ABC 12 News.
So I thought that was really, she's actually new. She comes from Lansing via Detroit. Tonya Jordan is new to Channel 12. So here's a couple things. So one, you cannot touch the ballots. Two, they did state that the county clerk did receive that there was a complaint submitted by the city clerk. He received it. He sent it over to, he has a responsibility to send it over to the Genesee County Sheriff's Department. It was also sent over to the Genesee County Prosecutor, David Layton's office. So there is a process. So when the clerk found, once she was given a complaint, the complaint is saying there has to be substance too, because people will make a complaint about anything. So to make sure there's some legitimacy to the complaint. So once she does her internal, the clerk, she also is going to confer with the City of Flint attorney. At that point, who she sent it to, the complaint went to, and I didn't do a screenshot, but she sent it to the Genesee County clerk, the Genesee County prosecutor, the Genesee County sheriff, the state board of elections, the attorney general, Michigan State Police. So Monica Israel, yes, this is available on YouTube. Yes, it is. So what? Let me put a pin in this. I'm gonna go back. I think I forgot an agency too. It is under pop in for it's on the Flint Urban News Station on YouTube.
Yeah, Urban News Station Flint on YouTube.
Can we put the link in there?
Yeah, I'm about to drop it in the Facebook side.
Okay, thank you. So Monica Israel is about to put in the Facebook side. Thank you. So let me go back to the agencies that it's reported to, because literally it is a lot. So the State Board of Elections, the Attorney General, it was sent to the Genesee County Clerk, it was sent to the Genesee County Prosecutor, Michigan State Police, I think 6 or 7 agencies. Who they did not send it to was Chief Green. It was not sent to the City of Flint Police Chief Green. And so this tells you, when you're talking about the seriousness, you're welcome, Monica, when you're talking about the seriousness of the election, if you can't send anything to the police chief, then that means somewhere along someone must feel he's compromised. And that's a problem. I can honestly tell you, um, I'm sorry, you got to give me just a minute because this is my child calling.
Go ahead and take your call. We can take it. So for everybody that's in the crowd, I appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. We are only 35 subscribers away from 1,000. So we'd appreciate it if y'all would, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There we go.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Look, guys, hit like, share, and subscribe. Look, I will always take my children's calls. I'm sorry. When they call, their mama is going to take that call. And I did. And so me and my son, he was like, what time are we going to the gun range today? So, and I'm shopping for a new firearm today with him. So that I am. And I've always been very straightforward that I believe in the Second Amendment right, and I do care. Legally, I do, always legally. So let's go back to, and Atlanta, you may have to help me with this. So where we left off at was the agencies that were contacted, which were the State Board of Elections, Attorney General, I believe the Secretary of State too. I believe the Secretary of State, the Genesee County Clerk, Genesee County Sheriff, Genesee County Prosecutor, and the Michigan State Police. They were sent this complaint. Who they did not send it to was the Flint City Police Department Chief Green, which you heard in there that Chief Green hadn't received it. Michigan State Police said, we did receive it, and we will follow it according to what we're supposed to do. So here's my very serious problem. I know personally with me that I have filed complaints with Chief Green, and he has been extremely dismissive. He has not followed up. There have been numerous times where council people have received death threats, and I've received them last week. Had some more garbage go on this week. I have sent him emails. You have the Flint City of Flint chief, which this is his job. This is his job. I have not had a detective call where I have two producers. Today we're on Landon. I have producer Jay. I believe he's in the chat. And he received threats where he did file a report with the Georgia police there. And you can't do that. And so when you have a police chief that you can't submit things to, and to be perfectly honest, I feel is compromised. If I'm filing a police report, and this was 2 weeks ago, literally I had my nieces in the police department lobby with me, my great nieces, as I filled out a police report. Have not heard from the Flint police yet about that. They took the report. The officer was very kind. She took it. I haven't heard any follow-up, not anything. I have called Chief Green. I've emailed Chief Green. Haven't heard anything. Haven't heard anything. So as a police chief, it's their responsibility. It's the same thing over at the sheriff's department. They're responsible for keeping their elected officials safe. When you get a complaint, you're supposed to follow up with it. Chief Green hasn't been able to catch anything. It doesn't even the basic of making a call. So for that, a problem. So when we look at the complaints and when they said, no one, he wasn't made aware. When you don't even feel, he's compromised, I cannot give it to the police chief. So can he serve in the capacity of police chief to where he's serving the people? I'm going to say personally for me, no, I don't have to like Chief Green for him to do his job. It's not personal. It's not. But if we're looking at what his record is with even handling certain issues, I was literally asked by an officer, did I think the complaints were real? Were they real issues? Yeah, to me, they are. They're not just random. I get calls, it's all type of things. So But I want to get back to the complaint. The complaint was submitted, and it was more than one complaint. And so there were people that stated that she had allegedly picked up the ballot. She wrote in the name. And one thing when you look for as you get older, your signature isn't like a big L and fluent. It's just not. Or the S, because generally our seniors write in cursive because that's what cursive was taught in class. Cursive used to be a part of the curriculum. And they write a little shakier, because it's shakier and it's usually smaller. And so those signatures didn't look like they were made by people. They did not. So you cannot write the name on at all. You may want it spelled right, but you can't write it. You can't touch anything inside the envelope or outside the envelope. And so therefore, Beverly Biggs campaign camp has stated, and she released a statement that they will be looking into this and they will be filing a case, which they should. Literally and I know I was not the only one looking up at those signatures saying, now they got to be kidding me. I know I wasn't the only one. Thank you. So when Arthur Woodson, thanks to credit to Arthur Woodson, I'm gonna tell y'all, and they put them all on the screens going across. There is no way, and it looked like they maybe tried to switch it up. I'm just saying. You look at the L, you look at the J, and some people were saying, look at the A. The A's look the same. The A's look the same. So when I initially looked at this, I was like, I know they got to be joking with me. I told you I would have. Look, Landon, I need 5 minutes because give me 5 minutes. And I am so sorry. Not even 5. Give me about 2.
I don't even know what that means. But anyway, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Tonya Burns Show. Thank you for tuning in also to Urban News Station where, we keep the news going. I do want to say, I don't know if we gained any subscribers since the live, but we are 35 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 mark and being able to monetize and, you know what I'm saying, taking it to the next level. So we definitely appreciate all of y'all support. We appreciate all the donations to the channel. If you feel like it, Cash App Hendrix Studios. That'll be your donation to Urban News Station.
Thank you. So listen, y'all, Saturday mornings are busy. So I do want to go back and say thank you, Jonathan Joy, Auntie and Alien Superstar, Beverly Barnes, Jessica Darga. Y'all hear the dog. Y'all know he didn't show his behind. Literally. Thank you, Meat Freaks Barbecue. Felicia Simmons. Book of Revelation. Gutter Black. Now, Terrence, John O'Snow, A.Z. O'Faison, John Snow. Good morning. Monica Israel. You know what? He don't get a muzzle. So, and then I do believe I went to Kevin Giles. So when I know I wasn't the only one looking at that and seeing those letters look the same. And Jonathan Joy, good morning. So Jonathan Joy made a comment, and let me go back down to this. Believe me, it's a squirrel he's barking at. Hold on, let me go back down. Hey, Tanya Jones. Good morning. R. Murphy, Nakia Harris. So Ray Charles can see that it was the same person. So there was another one that I sent you that had some red arrows. Can you put that one up? Okay. So Sheena Beck didn't make that one because that one, can we leave it up or is it? So
that one's only a 5-second clip.
Oh, shoot. We can't.
Yeah, so I can just keep pressing it repetitively as you go.
Oh, maybe if I screenshot it in a
I'll get it together. Go ahead. I got it.
Yeah. So when you look at that, when we say that those A's to J's, literally you will see seniors do not. Look at that A, look at that J, and even like the top of it, and so, I mean, you can even look at the W. And so when you look at these signatures, and literally it was kind of like, I'm not the only one seeing this. Because when you're writing, they're going to look at how, where's your pressure at? Where is this dog? They're looking at the pressure, the fluency. If you're a lefty, are you a righty? Jared D. Breckwitz, as a teacher, those are definitely the same handwriting. You say, as a teacher, it is definitely. And so when you look at that, can you leave that up? Because some of the things that we look for in handwriting, and I guess I didn't send that one to you. So some of the things that we look for in handwriting, someone has said one of the questions was it the same black pen? Well, I believe they said it was scanned in, and as it scans in, what it does is it scans in as black. And so when you put it up there, this will be the first election that a write-in candidate has won. The first election that, and we know that this election was highly contested. So leave that up, please. So I want to say this. So a handwriting expert, because we look at those L's, the J's, and the slant, when we look at those. So a handwriting expert analyzes what is a handwriting expert? A handwriting expert analyzes various features of handwriting to determine authenticity and authorship. This includes examining letter formation, the slant, y'all see the slant, spacing. The spacing is the same, come to think about it. Spacing is the same. This is just one of the screens. It was almost like every screen you can see. So it looks at the slant, spacing, the pressure applied. So that's also going to show, because if it's applied harder, it's going to be darker. So the pressure applied and other unique characteristics to compare a question document with known samples. They look for consistent patterns. And so key elements of handwriting experts: letter information, how letters are formed, their size, their proportion relative to each other, the slant, the angle at which the letters are written, which can vary from person to person, the spacing, the amount of space between the words. Now you look at the spacing. Yeah, that just, the spacing, I'm gonna say, look between the LaShawn and the Johnson. That spacing is very similar between that first name and that last name, and in between the letters. Now this is just what I'm saying, what they look, I'm looking at, I'm not a trained expert, but this is what the trained experts look for. The alignment, how the writing aligns with the baseline. So let's look at the bottom. How does it, is it just because some people don't write on the lines. They don't. And they write to the slant up, it's off. The fluency, the smoothness in the flow of the writing, including the presence of tremors or hesitation. I know for a fact that a lot of seniors write with, depending on the age, they have tremors in the fluency. I have seen it. And so then we also look at pen points and stops, the points where the pen is lifted from the paper and where the strokes end. Also, individual quirks, unusual letter formations, flourishes, and other unique characteristics that can help identify the handwriter. So these are things that the handwriting experts look at. I know that Beverly Biggs has contacted a handwriting expert to take a look at this. And so when you really look at that, the fluency where the pen looks up, look at where the name is written at on the line. Everybody doesn't write like on the dotted line. Some people write below, just above, but this one is the spacing of the name is written on the line, almost every single one. So this is something that they're going to look for. So listen, hey, Philip Johnson. So I'm just saying, it ain't going to be too hard to figure out. Then along with the complaint, this will help to corroborate the alleged complaint that she wrote on the ballots. This was a serious complaint that numerous people have stated. And, if she wrote this, you can't do it. If it is alleged to be true, you can't write on this. You can't. Councilman, do you know the difference between the absentee ballots and the primary versus the general? Elijah, are you talking about that with the handwriting, or are you talking about how many were received? I don't know specifically what you're talking about. Landon, this is going to be my last time, but I need just a minute.
Well, we back in here, y'all. Like I said, we almost hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark. So we definitely would appreciate a like and a subscribe. Now, some of y'all might have came into the chat and noticed you couldn't comment for 5 minutes. That's because you ain't subscribed. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to come in with Philip Johnson, Sherry Allen, I Ain't Going, and everybody else and be able to comment. I thought you were back. I didn't know it.
No, I'm back. I'm back. Killer over here is just cutting up. So the handwriting and when I remember when I was watching this, and I'm like, they've got to be kidding. I'm like, look at that. I mean, look at that. And so we look at all those things are what the handwriting experts do look at. That is what their job is. And here's another thing. All of those signatures have got to line up. So did he put in for clarity, was it green what he had won? I don't know if I saw it. Jessica Dargacy. Oh, Council, do you know the difference between the absentee ballot? Okay. So I don't know if you're talking, like I said, Elijah Green, if you're talking about the number of ballots or the signatures, I don't know. I haven't seen those signatures. That is what they will have to do. That is what will be done in the investigation. I can tell you this. It is being investigated. It is being investigated. We do know that if we compare this, one of the cases was with the woman in Sioux Falls, Iowa, who received 26 felonies, each carrying 5 years apiece. Dr. Patron. And so this is a very serious charges. Very, very serious. Allegedly, her and her adult kids are going to jail if this is true. And here's the thing: if this is true, this is serious. The lady in in Sioux Falls, Iowa, the case with the allegations in this case, it is so very similar. We had put that case up on Tuesday. I don't know if you still have it. Do you still have it, Landon? We had put it up. The Sioux Falls.
I'll pop it in.
Okay, so this is the lady, which we said, I would never do for my man, not even for my kids, not for anybody, to do this, because what this lady, she had an elaborate scheme, and because it included the mail, and this is another thing, when you include the mail, and these are absentee ballots, you change the scope to it by sending things to the mail, then it arises to the level of the federal authorities. You cannot use the U.S. Post Office to run a scam. Also, if you have other people that you are who are in with this racketeering, it can rise to the level of RICO because you're still in an election, allegedly. And so this is something, thank you. And so this is very serious and is not taken light. And I want people to understand it doesn't happen overnight while they're investigating. It doesn't. If they go in and they don't find anything, then quickly it would have come back. Quickly it would have come back if they didn't find anything. It has not come back that they haven't found anything, which leads me to believe they found something and they have those claims have been substantiated, that they're being found to be true. And so this to me is serious because I know the clerk is not going to send it over unless there's something that she believes to be true, some irregularities, some things that need to be further investigated by the law. So how it goes is you have to send it over. It has to be investigated. Then it's sent to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor will prosecute. And it may have to go outside the county because it depends on all who's involved. And we have had this before. And so this one, it says the woman convicted of voting fraud. It says a federal jury in Sioux Falls, Iowa, convicted an Iowa woman today of a voter fraud scheme during the 2020 primary election. According to court documents and evidence presented to the trial, Kim Fong Taylor, 49, Sioux City, perpetrated a scheme to fraudulently generate votes to get her husband in the primary election in Iowa's 4th District Congressional in 2020. After Taylor's husband lost in the primary, LaShawn lost in the primary. That one is a fact. He ran for Woodbury County Supervisor in 2020 general election, and Taylor again engaged in ballot fraud, causing absentee ballots to be fraudulently requested and cast. So that's online. So when you decide to fraudulently request a ballot online, the person has to. I can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. When you do this, the Department of Justice gets involved. It becomes federal. So it is alleged also in some of the complaints that absentee ballots were asked for other than the voter requesting them. And so with this lady, and I'm going to continue to read it. Thank you. Since Taylor submitted or caused others to submit dozens of registrations, absentee ballot requests, and absentee ballots containing false information. Taylor completed and signed forms without voters' permission and told others that they could sign on behalf of relatives who were not present. The jury convicted Taylor of 26 counts of providing false information and registering and voting, 3 counts of fraudulent registration. So each one of those carried 26 counts of what she got carries a 5-year felony, so which I believe turns out to be 120 years. And so, I mean, this is serious. And says the FBI Omaha field office of Denver investigated this case. You can't send stuff through the mail. So and I want people to know it is being investigated. It doesn't happen like quickly because there's a lot to go through. So, but what they will narrow it down to is just her absentee ballots. It's going to be the ones that the complaint was filed against the alleged complaint against LaShawn Johnson. And I don't know if because she never ran before, if she really understood the severity of it. But it doesn't matter. I know that there was a letter that was sent out to explain, dated July 3rd, stating you can't do it. You cannot pick up ballots. And it is alleged that it was continued to be done. Full disclosure, I had someone call me, not more than one person, and state she had picked up the ballots, allegedly picked up the ballot. I don't know if it's allegedly because they said she did it. The person did. And so when you do this, it's a problem. This lady, 26 years, and I don't know if she understands, but if it gets to the point that it comes back, she did it. It's serious. It carries a felony. And so this is the same. This woman had lost the election. Her husband had lost the election, came back and created, this is in Sioux Falls. She came back and created a whole scheme with absentee ballots, lost the election, came back. And so this one is very reminiscent of what had happened, or allegedly what happened in Flint. So I know my attorney is watching, and he make sure you say allegedly. Make sure you say allegedly, because no one is convicted, which is why no one's convicted of it. So you can't make this stuff up. So this is going to play out, and it's going to take some time. And so people are going to have to be patient when we may not. You want justice today. We know that Beverly Biggs, we had when she did the recall, and after the recall, during the election, ballots had already been mailed out. The late Councilman Murphy passed away. Beverly Biggs, those votes were not certified. Beverly Biggs had 589. AC Dumas has 568 in that election, and they did not certify it. She could also not get appointed, which caused, we were at a 4-4 split, which is a whole other court case that we've been in, going back and forth, because we are basically deadlocked. And so this, I don't know, what this is going to do or turn out, but the complaints obviously have some validity. And with it having validity, this has been a long process, and we just have to play it out. One of the reasons why, because I've wanted to, to do this so that we're not doing 25-hour shows. Okay, y'all, maybe 5-hour shows, because I want to get the information as it comes out. So who can touch a ballot? Ballot handling, nobody. They live in the house with you. Look, don't get caught. You can't carry it to the mailbox. If I was to go in the house and it seems like, well, can you place this in the box, Tonya, for me? No, ma'am, I cannot. No, I will not. I will not touch your ballot at all. I will not do that, because if the people call and say, hey, you touched that ballot, that would launch an investigation. April Warren, LaShawn Johnson explained the whole process to me. I voted absentee. She explained to me where to drop my ballot off at. Okay, April. I mean, and that's good, but I'm talking about that's good. I don't. If she did that, I'm speaking to the complaint now at this point. And we look at those letters, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And so we do know that it is a complaint. We do know that the election is not certified as of yet. That process, I'm quite sure that the news and the journalists will make sure that everything is kept up. But I want people to know, be careful. Don't take those ballots. Don't do that. Don't do it. When you look at those letters and the handwriting experts, it's very clear someone filled those out. Who did it? I don't know. But that is for the people to investigate, to do that. So it is alleged. No one's signature is going to be the same on all of those. It just doesn't happen. And so they will just probably pull out hers, LaShawn Johnson's absentee ballots, to take a look at those. AC Dumas did file the complaint, the formal complaint, and with those signatures, people became alarmed. those names are not going to look like that. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. And so we do have to allow this to play out. And if it comes out that LaShawn is that this did not happen, then they move forward. But the process may take some time. If it came out that it is alleged that she did it, then you have to wait for the authorities. And so it is a process, therefore, that has to play out. So those digital images, can you put the images back up again for me, please? Yeah. Those are not different people. I'm sorry. Those are not different people. Look at the height of the L. I mean, it's just not different people. And those are all different ballots. I mean, it's not. It's just not. And you can't sign on the envelope. You can't sign on the ballot. You can't have it in your possession because there is a possibility of fraud. And there was a gentleman when Miss Brown he was arrested for this, for collecting ballots. Miss Brown did not play. Inez Brown, former Flint City clerk, and he was arrested and he was charged. He was charged with this. There was also in New Jersey, a last name, Mr. Jackson, did a similar thing to this. So there are cases which are similar to this, but these should be, people don't make it, they just don't. And let's just be honest, they just don't. So there are some serious issues here when you look at that. And you people, let me back. So when we looked at what the handwriting experts look for, there are some specific things, and this is a problem. So it is being investigated, and we're gonna move on to this. So we're gonna move on. So on to, let's talk about, we had the pepper spraying. That was out of an aerosol can. It wasn't like the little one that you put on the keychain or even the next side. It was like the big, like Lysol. So Deborah Coleman, underneath Thelma and Louise, had a video that went viral, along with another Sixth Ward resident, hers, on last Saturday. They left an event and were buying barbecue from the Lawsons, who are a licensed street vendor for barbecue. They all smoke. And they were closing up. They were, police had asked them to wrap it up. Don't take any more orders. They did. Police rolled back around. And when they rolled back around, they were like forcing them. The young man, which is Leon Lawson, who was a boxer. His record is 18-0. He is 6'5". Y'all, he tall. He is 6'5". They put the truck like towards him. He threw his hands up and did like a little shimmy, and they arrested him. Kept him in jail for 54 hours. His original time was at 2:20 a.m. on that Saturday night. He did not get out to Monday morning, approximately 8:30. At 2:20 a.m., it would have been his time for 48 hours. So Flint has a right to hold for 48 hours with the intent to charge. Then if they're going to ask questions, they can hold them up to 72 hours. Well, there were no charges. They were trying to get a felony for barbecuing with tongs. But the charge was that they're saying he used the barbecue tongs as a weapon. And they took it over to the prosecutor, David Layton's office, and he didn't find that it was enough evidence that happened. They had also left the scene, came back and got the barbecue tongs, which were in the bucket. So how do you know if those were the tongs? So if you're barbecuing, you must have a few things to barbecue. Barbecue utensils. And you need some barbecue shoes, okay? Preferably the old sandals or whatever. Now they're doing barbecue Crocs. And so um, when we look at those things, he was taken to jail, held, and he came down to city council to speak. The officers were down there, and it was a very hostile environment. Councilman Pfeiffer blew his stack literally and was out. He saw some things that I did not see. He had stated that someone said about the officer being remorseful, and the officer was back there shaking his head that he wasn't remorseful. You go to Flint City, official Flint City council meetings. I think Arthur Whitson had it, but Councilman Pfeiffer was upset. I didn't, the way he was facing, I did not see that because I was reading. And that is just inappropriate. The officer did leave, and it was very hostile. I don't feel the officers should have been in there. They should have had some other officers in there because this is not resolved. Flint's going to have to go through some very uncomfortable conversations to find a solution. Do you have the video, the original video, Landon? Nope, not that one. There's another one. There was the one. That's going to be the second one that we play.
I was gonna say I got the one from Indisputable that shows it, but he's talking about it. I can pull up the.
Yeah, let's. So it is also went to everyone knows Rashad Ritchie. So it's went viral to where Rashad Ritchie has played it. Yeah, let's play that one, please. He's going to pull that up. So listen, if you are on here, listen, please click like and subscribe. Let's get those last subscriptions on because I want to make sure I can bring people on so that I don't have to do shows that run all day. And so that when either one of the producers are available, then I can hop on because sometimes this stuff come out, we want to get it out. We want to get it out as soon as possible so that, people don't fall asleep, take a nap, cook 4 dinners at all. So Elijah Green in the primary, while he's pulling in the primary election on May 6th, 519 votes out of 6,117 registered voters in the third ward. 519 votes, 357 people voted absentee, which means only 204 people voted for that day. Yeah, the turnouts have been very low. And just for the record, third ward is the lowest voting ward out of all 9 where people show up. So it is difficult to get folks engaged to come out to vote. So that has been that, and then the fourth ward. So those 2 are very low voting wards. And this is the ward that needs the most. It's the ward that needs the most help with blight, with home repair, with other issues. This in the third and fourth ward, and it's the lowest voter turnout. I can send it to you. I'm landing it.
Different page. No, I got a YouTube short, but that one isn't it.
Okay, I can send the other one with because it was under Thelma and Louise. I think my allergies are bothering me. So listen.
This one right here. There we go.
Yeah, so he is working backstage. But Tonya Jones said the officer was back there laughing. That's so inappropriate. That's taunting. That's taunting. And that.
All right.
Did you get it, or you need me to?
I think I got. I'm about to show you the one that I got. Oh, hold up! I gotta zoom in. People be a little nosy. My YouTube trying to see what I'm subscribed to. I ain't trying to.
Okay. Oh, well, I've got this one, so I can send it
right here. The original with the lights and all that.
Yeah.
All right.
That. Yeah. What, dude? We didn't try to get our food. We didn't try to do shit. We didn't try to get our food. They didn't even do shit. Oh my God. Let me get it. That's wrong. That is so wrong. Look, still spraying. Still spraying.
You're muted.
So I see, thank you. So that's the video that happened last Saturday. He was closing up. I see Lorraine Lawson is in here. She's part of the Lawson family, and she did speak at City Council this past Wednesday. And if you are just not joining the chat, thank you for joining. So her family came, and they were outraged, rightfully so. One of the officers was there, and he ended up leaving because it became very difficult. The family literally, I don't know whose idea it was to place him there when the family was there. And they spoke for every time they could. They spoke, and they stayed to the end because this is serious. So the family came and spoke. This shouldn't have happened. There is no curfew. There's no to disperse the crowd. There wasn't a riot. There wasn't a threat of violence. This is a violation of the First Amendment right to peacefully assemble. And look, buy food. Many people had to leave. They sprayed the food. They sprayed the people. It was, let's just get them out of here. And the thought process and zero consideration. A simple, if they had pulled back to take the time to think that, you know what, look, hey, wrap up, and they had this conversation is what I'm told. They even offered the officers food, but then they came back around, put the vehicle right towards Leon Lawson III. You see it was edging towards him, and he threw his hands up. Now, if this young man wanted to become violent, he is a trained boxer. How are you going to barbecue without having barbecue utensils? Well, he had a pair of barbecue tongs. Yeah, because you barbecue with tongs. He was barbecuing. You can see him barbecuing. The family was barbecuing. The auntie was packing up the styrofoam. So you see them making it. We're going to finish our orders and then we're going to go, And they came and started spraying, putting the lights on, blaring the sound. It was disgraceful, unprofessional, uncalled for. It shouldn't have happened. Whether you're spraying mace or spraying a water hose, it is very reminiscent of the civil rights movement. You don't do it. There was nothing to de-escalate because the police came to escalate the situation. There wasn't anything, there wasn't a threat, there wasn't violence. There was none of that. He didn't resist arrest. He did not. So can we play? I sent you the next one. Can you put that up? It is the from 810 Flint, where the family came to speak. And this is an embarrassment. The police need proper training. I'm gonna stand with the police, but not when you're wrong. And this was wrong. So this was on Wednesday.
How y'all? Ridge got this Lambo and Hennessy Velociraptor, and they're giving them away. You get the choice. One of the most. How y'all doing? My name is Leon Lawson III, and I can definitely say, like, I'm underprepared, like, because for the council meeting, but I can definitely say when I came in here, I'm happy I came, because when I came in here,
Sir, we cannot hear you.
when I had came in here, I was like I said, I didn't know about the council meetings for like 2 hours ago, so I'm very underprepared for it. But when I had came in here, I looked around and I seen that it was no youth in here at all, like my age, and we the main target. You know what I mean? When it comes to, the type of stuff that he put the other day, and like so I could tell you about the incident that I went through for the past 4 days. I was kidnapped and assaulted for transparently no reason, like literally no reason at all. And the charges that he took me to jail under, he said I tried to burn him with some tongs. I'm a professional athlete. I box. This is what I do. If I really wanted to assault that man, I really do this for a living. You know what I mean? And that goes to show that these police officers is doing nothing behind a badge. Behind a badge. That's it. That's it. Because at the end of the day, you're still human. And I really want them to know that they're not tough. None of that. They hide behind a badge. And they coming from Swartz Creek, out of these outskirt towns, coming into our city, acting like cowboys. That it need to stop. And I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I'm underprepared, but I'm finna definitely start speaking at this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure, I'm finna start a trend with this. I spent almost 3 days in the bullpen. It was a terrible experience, very, very, very unexpected. I didn't go outside trying to cause no trouble. I went outside trying to help my family. That's it. I went outside trying to help my family. That's it. And man, it's simple. Thank y'all. I already started. Thank y'all.
I was downtown this past weekend staying at the Hilton for the 40th All Citywide class reunion with my best friend from Tennessee and several others. I was involved in a serious, disturbing, traumatizing experience with two evil, rogue, unprofessional, aggressive, violent demon cops. In a nutshell, it was gross police conduct. I am speaking my piece because this has to stop with these two officers. I am traumatized. I'm nervous. I'm not scared, but I'm scared of what they are allowed to do to people with the city officials on their side. What they did to us was unlawful abuse of power. They falsify information. They are terrorizers, and it's scary. And now that I put that video out, it makes me more nervous that if they ever see me on the streets, they will harass me. They need to be held accountable for their actions. They are abusing their power. We were not a threat. They need to be investigated and fired and not be able to be a police anywhere because they are dangerous. They're ready to pop off and they're ready to kill someone. They're going to cost the city of Flint police a lot of money. Flint City needs to start doing deep evaluation on their cops instead of hiring who they know that's going to go out there and just do bad things. Because I just feel like they didn't look off into that Terry Van Buren dude. He got a lot of stuff going on with him in the past. So I don't know if they looked at his record or not before they hired him. And Police Chief Green, Mayor Stanley, they got the authority to stand up to the two demons, but they can continue to support them. And as long as they continue to support them, they're going to keep coming out there terrorizing us melanin people. And I hope they do what is right. Right is right, wrong is wrong, no matter your status. And I don't be knowing what y'all be doing up on here in this council, but y'all don't need to send them no more money. Y'all need to send them money to get the correct type of police that's going to take care of us, not terrorize us. You only use force on people that need force to be used on them. Them some upstanding citizens right there. They seen that video, and everybody needs to quit asking what happened before. Nothing happened before. They just jumped out and did what they wanted to do because they could, and nobody's standing.
I'm not putting my hands up in the air if I haven't done anything and the police officers push up to me. I'm not driving 10-2 while sitting in the car if police pull me over. Y'all know I don't give a damn about what I say, and I'm gonna say it here. Police officers, they originated during slavery, slave patrol. Every time I see one misuse and abuse their authority, I feel like they think that I'm a slave. I'm gonna beat their ass. That's what I'm gonna do. I am not my ancestors. I keep telling people this shit, man. I am not my ancestors. Ladell, Judy, Candace, Leon, y'all sit here every city council meeting with those same officers that was down there Saturday. Now it just spilled out on the street from y'all lawlessness. You weaponized them motherfuckers. You did. You did. And you did, Candace. Y'all never told them. Y'all allowed them to come up in here. Still will. I still want my lick back. When I see him, I'm letting you know. I don't care what you think it is, a threat or whatever. I get triggered when I see this shit. I have PTSD. I'm a disabled veteran. And this is one of the things that triggers me. I don't have any problems with police officers, but what I do have issues with is abusive police officers that take advantage of a bag. What they were punks in high school. They got bullied. They got their ass whooped. And what happened, they got a badge and a gun, and now they run as a gang, and they think they somebody, but they ain't shit. I'm letting you know right now, God is my witness. I'm not putting my hands up. I'm not going 10-2. I'm not doing any of that. If you pull me over for a reason, I will oblige you. But if you doing what you did Saturday night, when did 2 o'clock become a curfew for adults to have to get off the street? When was an ordinance passed for them to have to stop cooking? They don't have to get off the damn street. What it is the white people downtown who call the black people hooligans. And they don't want black people downtown. And you can kiss my ass because I'm coming every day.
I'm coming here today as first off, as a concerned father. I'm an active father to all my children. Managed to keep my son out of trouble all these years, always active. What happened to us this weekend, downtown Flint, was something I could never think of, never imagine. We were assaulted, as you've seen, I'm sure all of you seen, or, the video that's going around. But the way that we were treated downtown, the officers that were involved are dangerous to the public, period. They're dangerous to the public. So with that being said, what's going to be done? We got to stand on this. We can't let this go under the rug. We can't let this fly. They try to put a felony on my son. I've managed to keep him out of trouble all these years, and I plan on keep doing so. They try to put a felony on him, saying that he has tried to assault him with a weapon that was in a bucket. Well after they placed him in handcuffs and put in the car. Said that he tried to burn him with a pair of tongs. I watched the officer come up and grab it out of the bucket near the grill. This is a family business. We in the business of putting smiles on faces. It was a great time. They came out there and escalated that situation. not de-escalated. We had permission to finish serving the customers that was there from the officers that did this assault. You know, Terry Van Kuren is his name. That's one of them. And the other one is which officer? That is Officer Boswick. So Terry Van Kuren and Officer Boswick is dangerous to this city and to this public. You know, and for you to lie and try to put charges on my son, what have you done in your past? What kind of charges you don't put, false charges you don't put on other black youth in this community? You know, that just reminds me of a guy that'll put dope on a guy and have him fighting for his life. And if we didn't have the connections that we have in this city and the people we could call, you know, we would have been in serious trouble. Or the video that surfaced. We might still be fighting for our life if the video didn't surface. Thanks to Deborah. We really appreciate you, Deborah, for standing on business. You know, in this situation, I found out who was with us and who wasn't. You know, people smile in your face, they act like they with you, but they really ain't. I found that out. Thank you.
You know, we got a lot of y'all, they won't even look at us when we've sitting here trying to talk to y'all about the serious things that we have going on in this city. And y'all don't even want to listen. It seems like it's easy for the police to go jump on somebody that's trying to do something easy. Just look at the last few incidents, the peaceful demonstration they showed out on us. And then when you call them for assistance, numerous times, won't show. They'll come and take a report because somebody of them got shot, killed, injured. That type of stuff needs to stop immediately. I don't know what Chief Green needs to have a better department, or if we need a new chief. I don't know. But we need a change.
Why is the same officer who was here when Shalita and Josh got arrested back here in the back now? He is a repetitive abuser. He has done this multiple times. He shouldn't be here no more. He just pepper sprayed a bunch of people in the face at the Northern tailgate party. That's not okay. And he back up in here to harass some more people. So are y'all really trying to hear the people, or is the idea to make us scared?
RL.
Because I don't understand it. It's wrong. It's not okay. The disrespect is wrong. That's not okay. And Leon needs to resign because abuse on any person is not okay. He ain't got no business ever putting his hands on a female. And sitting on this council seat, he need to go.
How dare you put me in a position where I have to watch my brother see he can't even protect his son. Can't protect his son? And they sitting in here with us now. How dare you? How dare you? Trying to put, and how much time I got? And because people, oh, he got it all today. Because people know, because we know people.
Please be respectful.
Because we know people. And because our family is known, I'm scared to know how many people who have nobody to talk for, who can't get a manly or whoever they need to get them out of position. How dare y'all, that what may say the least of these. Y'all don't take care of the least of these.
So the last person to speak was Lorraine Lawson, and she's spoken before. Lorraine Lawson was very good friends with Councilman Eric Mays, and she would come and speak. And anytime he needed her, she would show up. I don't think she ever thought she'd have to show up for her family with what happened. It's despicable. It shouldn't have happened. It shows improper training, and it needs to be dug into. They're claiming that they're going to have, which I don't believe the police investigating their own selves. I believe it needs to be an outside agency. Having those officers there was very triggering for the family because this just happened. It wasn't even a week ago. And And when Councilman Pfeiffer just really kind of went off, you saw where they had June 1st, they showed the pictures. That was John Smith, Brothers and Sisters of Oak Park, where he has stated about what's going on, Chief Green. You know, that June 1st peaceful protest, Chief Green was out there. That's when they slammed Beverly Biggs' husband to the ground, drug him out the car. The car was still in drive. The car hit another vehicle, had damage that was over like $7,000, and went to court. Court dropped the charges. And so it's the same thing as where this young man was placed in prison for 48 hours. I'm sorry, not 48, because he didn't get out to 8 o'clock. So 48 would have been 2. So 54 hours in the jail, using the jail as a political jail to teach people. I do know they had reached out to Mayor Neely. And I told the family, you know, you can tell them the city did their job. It signed off. You know, they're waiting on the paperwork over at the jail. The mayor can tell the police chief that, hey, we don't, you know, we're not going to charge him, or, you know, we can let him go. The mayor had the authority to do that, to tell the chief. So when you holding somebody and there's no charges, and never were there charges, there weren't any charges. He had to tell the arresting officer. So this keeps happening. Same thing happened to Sandy Odell, her daughter Brooke. It happened to Arthur Woodson. It happened to Shalita. It happened to Josh. I mean, and we can keep going on with the people they keep arresting and holding them there. There's a pattern. They just paid out on one, which is excessive abuse, $175,000 that was just paid. This family, the Lawson family, has Frank Manley. You know, I mean, these are things that shouldn't happen. So my question was and is to Chief Green, which I asked him to come to council. He didn't come. What are your best practices, Chief Green, for your police department? What are your best practices? The training. What is your main focus with training? And I get these officers are overworked, morale is low, they run from crime scene to crime scene, but it is the responsibility of Chief Green to make sure he manages his police department. He needed to be there to answer those questions. What is his best practices? And as I've been asking since 2020 to Chief Green, where is your comprehensive public safety plan with a specialized gang task force? In that plan would also tell how does the community officers deal with the community with incidents like this. I know Chief Green knows what to do because I've talked to him. Him applying it has been the issue. The same group of officers was sent to Hasselbrink with the seniors. They were removing flower pots and benches after they were evicted out because he had a problem with the director. So he evicted them out. They were sent over there. So is he using this special tactical force that he is discharged? Chief Green has stated to me he didn't discharge him on some of these issues that I've asked them about. So why is the mayor dispatching, or they saying the deputy chief, who's dispatching them out? Who's giving them, who's in their command and giving them the all go? Where's this coming from? It's a problem and it should not be happening. Seeing that family there triggered them with having the officer there. Who scheduled that? That was recklessly irresponsible. And Councilman Pfeiffer stated he was shaking his head that he wasn't remorseful. It's somebody, I don't have that video clip. I'm quite sure one of the video people will have it. Thanks to all the video credit footage, 810 Flint, AK Cole, for having this available. So I wanted to let's go to, because this is another point of remember the video, Landon, I said, actually, let's do the Chiefs press conference, because during that weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which we were 2 weeks ago, we had shootings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday, there were two. Friday, there were two. Saturday, there were 17. And Sunday, there were 3 where I believe 14 or 15-year-old passed away. 19-year-old brother was shot, and a 46-year-old mother was shot. So that's 22 people during this weekend. This is Chief Green, police chief of the city of Flint, press conference.
Don't mix pink salt with
You know we got commercials. Hold on, let me.
I know, but and look, while we waiting, y'all click like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe to this station.
Subscribers away from 1,000, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, how many we need?
And we need, as far as the last time I looked, it was 23 more subscribers, and we'll be at.
Come on, y'all. We can do this. We can. Look, even the haters, y'all click that like button.
You can't hate from it. You can't get in. I do want to play something if you don't mind. I just want to say I appreciate anybody that's donating to the channel. We went through some stuff last week, so definitely the donations are appreciated. But anytime I get a donation, I have a button that I press. So I saw a few come in. I just wanted to press it if you don't mind, and then I'll play the video.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, it's gonna be a little loud, but it's supposed to be.
Oh! I was just trying to help you meet the threshold.
Appreciate helping us meet the threshold.
Listen, look, and please donate to Landon. Thank you. But we'll do donate after this. So here's the Chief Green's police, his press conference. Worst press conference I've ever seen. Nothing was answered. After this, I want to play the video, because this is the videos when we find out he had no answers on this press conference. But during Saturday's debacle, where they were spraying with an aerosol can of mace, that we found out. Press conference didn't, they didn't divulge anything. But can we please play this?
Now, he aimlessly or stands there aimlessly for about 2 or 3 minutes. You want me to fast forward to where he starts talking?
Please do. He trying to figure out, look, he's like, I don't want to do this. I'm tired of this. They got me up here in front of these mics. I don't want to talk about this. People won't stop shooting. Look, I just want to be traveling, enjoy my family and, the grandkids and, and here it is. Y'all up here shooting, acting the fool. And I got to come up here and answer these questions. That's Captain Urquhart standing next to him.
And whoever was doing the stream had the mic muted for a minute. So there we go. Okay.
Detective Bureau also for their immediate response. Night shift.
Sorry, I'm trying to find a spot. Okay, there we go.
Oh, it's low.
The proper resources. I would like to thank the Detective Bureau also for their immediate response. But as I stated, we had 4 different scenes, and I'm going to take these scenes and these incidents in chronological order so you can understand what these officers face this weekend. Basically early Sunday morning, beginning between the hours approximately 3:50 a.m. to 5 o'clock a.m. The first incident occurred at approximately 3:50 a.m. at a residence located at 630 West Stewart Street. We described this incident as domestic in nature, which had 3 victims. Victim number 1 was a 45-year-old female. She was pronounced deceased at the scene. Victim number 2 was a 34-year-old female whose listed in critical condition at this time. And victim number 3, a 56-year-old male, also listed in critical condition. All were transported by EMS to Hurley Medical Center to receive treatment. Right now, the incident is still currently under investigation. And basically, this started over a verbal argument between 2 family members, cousins. That's the victim offender relationship. They were cousins. And again, that occurred approximately 3:50 a.m. Any questions for that scene?
Anyone in custody?
No, not at this time.
Do you believe, like, were any of the victims ones who fired any shots? Or?
Yes. Yes, they were. And as I stated, it's still sketchy. We're still trying to sort it out. We're looking for additional witnesses for this case that will put things in perspective once individuals start talking. As I stated, these are family members, and this is an ongoing investigation. Incident number 2 occurred approximately 3:59 a.m. This location was Pasadena and Industrial, the city of Flint.
Welcome to BetMGM Casino. We've got exclusive games, jackpot for days, new.
This location happened to be a location where we've had issues in the past, where we have large gatherings. The actual building that that normally would be open at this time, we took some enforcement action approximately a year ago to stop them from operating, to stop these large gatherings, but the individuals continue to gather there in the wee hours of the morning. So this, we believe, what caused this. We believe individuals decide to carry out grudges against one another, and that caused these victims. There's approximately 5 victims from this scene. 5 victims. Some of the victims weren't the intended target of the gunshots, but we had 5 victims. Number 1 was I believe this was an intended target. He's a 25-year-old male. He was a fatality. Number 2, 23-year-old male, listed in critical condition initially. Number 3, a 21-year-old male, listed in critical condition. Number 4 is a 22-year-old female, also listed in critical condition. So this incident, as I stated, we believe is related, ongoing feud between 2 groups, but that's also still an ongoing investigation. So the third location, the scene, is related to the second scene. And let me put this in perspective for you. So when the shots were fired at Pasadena Industrial, other bystanders fled. They fled north on Industrial towards Carton. Upon reaching Carton and Industrial, we believe has been investigated as a road rage incident. During this road rage incident, a vehicle was fired into by the suspect, who then fled the scene. And right now, again, that situation is still under investigation, but we definitely, the fact is that they were fleeing from shots fired at Pasadena and Industrial and ended up at Carter Industrial where additional shots were fired. And we're investigating this as two separate scenes. The fourth scene occurred approximately 5 o'clock a.m. at 2905 North Saginaw, Marathon gas station. The victim in this shooting was a 41-year-old male listed in critical condition. We believe this case is also related to Carton and Industrial, the road rage incident. Again, this is still under investigation also. But as you can see, within that hour span, we had all these officers had to deal with all these shootings, 4 different crime scenes, and managing those crime scenes. So as I stated, it was chaotic initially. And this investigation, the crime scene investigation, continued till the following afternoon, evening. Scenes being processed, witnesses being located, conditions being gathered for those involved and those that suffered from gunshot wounds. Let me mention also, there were individuals that showed up to hospitals in private-owned vehicles. They were transported by private-owned vehicles. So the list as far as victims continue to grow. And we didn't get that information until a later time. So, but all these incidents are still under investigation. There's a lot of work to be done by the detectives. And but I have no doubt these cases will be solved. We have some of the best detectives within the state of Michigan is going to investigate and solve these crimes. I have no doubt about that. I'm confident in their abilities. But this is just a heated moment, and where things went haywire, and the officers that responded were overwhelmed within a very short period of time for basically 3 critical incidents. I open up for questions. Go ahead.
Were all of these victims taken to Hurley Medical Center?
Yeah, some Hurley, others McLaren.
I may have lost count. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. You go ahead.
I lost count of that second incident. I thought you said 5 victims. I said 4 ages.
Yeah. So we have a, you mean the second incident?
Second incident.
We have a 25-year-old male that was a fatality.
Yeah.
We have a 23-year-old male, critical condition, 21-year-old male, critical condition, 22-year-old female, critical condition, and a 30-year-old male.
Critical.
Yes.
For that second scene on Pasadena, would you describe that as like an after-hours club, or?
Initially it was, but as I stated, Detective Sergeant responsible for liquor license control approximately a year ago had some enforcement and shut that. So our understanding that the business wasn't open at that time of this incident, and hasn't been open for a year or so, but they're not supposed to be open.
Yeah, when you already, have this enforcement to shut it down, and at this point, is there any further action that you can take?
Well, yeah. So if we continue to receive reports that they're active and operating outside of what the administrative judge has ruled, then we continue the investigation and we try to padlock them permanently.
Have you received any other reports other than this one since it's closed?
We received some information, yes, that they might still be operating.
And with there being so many scenes in such a short period of time, can you talk about, the impact maybe that has on your staffing or on your officers?
So it was what I would describe as a horrible strain on our resources last night. That night.
Start your journey to a modernized network with innovations from HPE.
And that's why I give a lot of credit to the staff that was working that night, Lieutenant Harwell and his sergeants and officers. They did an excellent job. But it was, I would describe it as overwhelming.
And I know that previously the department has had numbers on its website. I haven't been able to access that, but would you say that gun violence overall in the city is up, down?
I've seen an uptick. I think it's increased. Yes.
Is there anything in particular you can contribute to, or they all have their own story?
Yeah, they all have their own story. So you see the incident at 630 West Stewart, that's domestic related. The Pasadena Industrial, rivalries going at one another. Road rage at Carden Industrial, unintended, but it ended in gunfire in 2905 North Saginaw, still under investigation as far as that's a bizarre incident. But yeah, each one has their own story.
Obviously, everyone wants to know the answer to gun violence, but is there any preventative measures maybe that your department will be taking, especially this upcoming weekend?
Well, especially this upcoming weekend, and until we've already initiated some hotspot policing, things of that nature, especially for these large gatherings. That's why we reactivated full capacity our special investigative unit. That's one of their primary responsibilities, but they've been tied up, the nonsense in city council chambers. But we're going to reallocate those resources for hotspot policing, large gatherings, and specifically this location, industrial in Pasadena. Well, we're going to get that out there, and we're going to put it on our Facebook posting that we're saying large gatherings won't be tolerated. And this is the reason why. There'll be a zero tolerance for all of our efforts. We will be impounding vehicles. We will be initiating traffic stops. We'll be clearing these locations out. So, this is what happens when, you have an incident like this. The Pasadena and industrial incident, it could be, categorized as a mass shooting. How many victims we had. So we've already been proactive in our response. Like I stated, we've started this a year ago, but there's always, a group that's going to, push the envelope, and we're going to push back and be more consistent and be just as stubborn as they are.
Is there anything you would say to people? I know you talked about the witnesses and stuff. Is there anything you would say to people who maybe saw this happen? And I know there's this fear of being a snitch or a stigma. So is there anything you would say to encourage them to speak up?
Yeah, well, we specifically the Pasadena Industrial and Carden Industrial, we know there are witnesses to these incidents. And we ask anyone that witnessed this to come forward. And the way, think of it if it's someone in your family. There was an innocent bystander that got struck by a stray bullet. And a lot of victims and during these incidents occurred. So if you have any information, think of it as someone in your family. Think of it as you as a victim, and come forward with the information. We can keep it confidential, but we basically look for someone to point us in the right direction.
So he never gets around to saying other than there are 9 people shot. His number was 9. 9 people. Now, at the pepper spray event, can we play that one? That was the one that's 1 minute and 1 second. The officer tells everyone when they're breaking up with the barbecue, that's why it was 17 bodies dropped. 17 bodies dropped for events like this. Okay, these were older people, just left the 40-year class reunion with 35, 40-year. Look, everybody there, if you at that class reunion, you're going to have some type of ailment, arthritis, knee replacement, high blood pressure. These are not people who are out there, These are grandparents. And they actually, the officer said, so 17 bodies was dropped. That's not where we find out. Chief Green did 2 press conferences. This one, which leaves a lot to be desired. Now, one thing he did say, that officer, it put a strain on the officers. That part is true, because how all those calls came in, it did put a great strain on police and authorities. That it did. Now, him blaming city council, absolutely not. You need to talk to your mayor, empowering those who disenfranchise residents. So he need to, because look, Tonya Burns don't get any special. I can have a death threat and everything else. And what he will not do is do his job when it comes to me. Period. He will not, has not. So when we talk about how do we find out the truth. So can you thank you. Yeah, let's play it.
Bodies dropped last week for a place like this. All right.
So 2 press conferences, Chief Green did not know, as the police chief, how many people were shot. So when the officer stated 17 bodies were dropped for places like this, he was speaking of specifically only Saturday. That did not include Friday, and it did not include Sunday. There were 2 shootings on Friday, 17 on Saturday, and 3 on Sunday. But the press conferences that he did with Mayor Neely, and this one, I don't know what you call that one, because when they dispersed, it just kind of like, well, there was no, okay, this is the end of the press conference. People just kind of like meandered away. So the difference is, I know Chief Green knows what to do. I've had these conversations. The police chief serves at the pleasure of the mayor. And is this making him ineffective? And it puts the police in a very precarious situation, because they feel they should be protected by the chief. They didn't want to be in that special unit of city council. He should have never had them there. They didn't want to be there. And the climate and the culture that has been created against the residents spilled out onto the streets. When the mayor was telling them to go over to the Hasselbrink Center, he's calling them. And if you don't know, the mayor takes department head and employees and has them come to his office. It's not unusual, and it's department head you're supposed to meet with. He has employees, literally, because I'm licensed to carry. I carry my gun with me. I had a police officer tell me that I needed to go talk to the mayor to carry my gun. This is what he told me. I said, I will absolutely not do that. One, you're violating. You're not supposed to have those metal detectors here. Second of all, did you know that it was an order to take them down? Thirdly, you can stop following me, because I'm not going to tell them anything. I will be in my regularly scheduled meeting that's posted a year in advance, and I will be on the 3rd floor. There is nothing that states I have to contact the mayor. The mayor is a micromanager. We just lost our planning. Well, we lost our director of planning and development, Emily Dorr. We also lost Ashley, who was a deputy director of planning and development. We lost, I think, 2 more people out of that department. People aren't staying. The mayor will call directly, he'll call random employees, and it's like to let them know you're indebted to him. That's not this is not New Jack City in the Carter. It's unprofessional. You don't do this. And so a lot of these officers literally meet with the mayor. The officer told me I needed to meet with the mayor. I don't have to meet with him for anything regarding that. I do not. We have an image problem with the city of Flint, and it is Mayor Neely right now. Chief Green knows what to do. He's not doing it. I've talked to him about violence interrupters. I've spoken with him about other programs, and we actually agreed. I don't know where the disconnect is at because he's not seeing this clearly. And it's a problem. So we just learned the officers, and you can watch that one press conference with Mayor Neely, and where he states, they couldn't get a number. Right here, just the one night, Saturday, 17, 2 Friday, 17 Saturday, 3 on Sunday. Do the math, that's 22. Where is it in the news that we had 22 shootings and several of them fatal? Where is it at? Where is it at? Our crime goes unreported, underreported, and we have a gun violence problem. We have a gun violence problem. We are not going to be on here very long, and I know that Landon, I do want to cover one last thing. It's kind of skipping ahead. We have coming back up the qualified immunity. It did not pass for the $225,000 from Mayor Neely. The qualified immunity is stated he did not have it. Fire Chief Ray Barton, it goes back to when he was the fire chief for the city of Flint. He sued, he was fired for doing his job. He also recommended that they be fired. The two men. His decision was overridden. In the paperwork, he stated he wanted them to be fired. It went all the way up to the 6th Appellate Michigan State of Appeals Court, and they stated that Mayor Neely did not qualify for qualified immunity. So qualified immunity means while you're doing your job, if it's related to the city, you cannot be held responsible. So Flint mayor denied qualified immunity and wrongful termination lawsuit filed by former fire chief. Can we put up the next one, please? So what is, I think it's just a series of things. So the qualified immunity with the $225,000 means it's not the city's responsibility. So 4 of us voted no. Mayor needs to look, the family deserves to find the truth. He should be deposed to find out the truth. Take it back to the drawing board. City council is not causing this. Mayor Neely caused this. This was his cause. He did a whole cover up and debacle. The truth needs to come out. This $225,000 should be paid by Mayor Neely. It should be paid by him. He garnished Councilman Mays. Why should Flint pay for this when the court said he doesn't get qualified? He doesn't qualify for immunity. He doesn't. He doesn't qualify. And so what the court specifically said, because your girl done did a little homework. So what the court specifically said was that and you can look up the court case. It says, in sum, considering the relevant clearly established from the Supreme Court, Sixth Circuit, and other circuits, Barton's right not to speak on a matter of public concern in response to threats of retaliation was clearly established at the time of his firing. Neely, that's going to be Sheldon Neely, is not entitled to qualified immunity at the pleading stage of these proceedings. He's not entitled to it. He needs to pay for this himself. He cost the city this money. City's not responsible for his mistake. This is his mistake. It went all the way up to the highest court. The highest court stated he's not qualified. He was denied for qualified immunity and wrongful termination. He was. So this is not the responsibility of the Flint City Council or Flint residents. He made a mistake. The chief had issued that they should be fired. The fire chief was overridden by, it is alleged, the mayor. All the truth needs to be told. The fire chief put it in writing in the reports. He should be fired. They should be fired. The mayor put him off without pay, but then they came back to find out it was with pay. Told him to watch 8 hours worth of videos, and they were able to go back to work. On the day of the hearing, July 28th, they resigned. This was the day that we had to look into the Pulaski Street fires. This is the day of the hearing. Many of you know Councilwoman Liddell Lewis didn't vote for the hearing. She jumped up out that seat when it came time to vote on this hearing. You could only see the back of her Reeboks. She was gone. Councilman Mays voted on it. Councilwoman Judith Priestley, Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter, myself voted on it. There was only 5 votes. And during this time, which Liddell Lewis tried to claim the smoke detector issue was Candace Mashat, was not. Candace wasn't even on the council, as she likes to take shots. Candace wasn't even on the council. That's not the person who said it at all. So the qualified immunity with the $225,000, this is Mayor Neal. He's not entitled to qualified immunity. He is not entitled. The highest court stated it, that in his government job, and what it does is protect government workers and also other people who work for public entities, even like for teachers. So it protects. He was denied it by the court. This is his responsibility. I'd like to hear the story come out. Let's depose him and find the truth out. But when it came time for deposition, because he's avoided it maybe 4 or 5 times, he wanted to settle. Then you want to settle, Mayor Neely? You need to come up with that $225,000 that your attorney settled. This is not a city of Flint issue. You went outside of the boundaries and the scope of your authority as mayor of the city of Flint. Again, he went outside the boundaries and the scope of his job as the mayor for the city of Flint. Period. He did. He did. So also our last little update. I know that we are landing. Can you pop on for just a second? Can we do the last one with the update with court on August 7th?
My mic wasn't even on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go.
So do we have time to do the update with court with what the judge said, which is the August 7th? They went to court this Thursday. That is with the victim of domestic violence. That Councilman Leon Alameen was charged with a felony and a misdemeanor. Went to Judge Vicky Bayhill's court, and Judge Vicky, preliminary exam date set for Flint councilman facing domestic assault violence charges is set for September the 23rd. It is set for September the 23rd. What the judge said in the bond paperwork, he had went to the house, and it's not, you can say alleged, but this is what the victim said, that he showed up, someone showed up, I think it's his cousin and brother, showed up with a moving truck. She heard something at the house. She called police. Leon came in a second vehicle. He was there. He was at the house, and he told the court, his attorney told the court that he sent the handyman. He was there. The police can verify he was there. He got out the car. The police told him to get out the car, to get back into the car. He then told him he needed to retrieve his clothing, his items. The police asked if he could come in. The victim said no. She put his clothing in garbage bags and handed out. She packed up what he had, put it in garbage bags, handed it to the police. So what in the article said, the judge said bond paperwork did not allow for the visit. She has a personal protection order, and even the ARPA one, which is an advanced one. He had no business going there. So it says the judge said bond paperwork did not allow for the lawsuit. But Roland Sizemore of the Manley & Manley law firm who represents the council said he mistakenly believed it did and advised his client of that. Not one PPO, personal protection order, allows the abuser to come to where the victim is. Not one. There's no PPO that allows you to take yourself to where they told you you can't be. It just doesn't happen. This is why women don't come forward. This is why victims stay in the situation, because the system re-victimizes them. She was re-victimized. He came with a moving truck. He was there with the police, asking him to get the things. She threw the things in the garbage bag. And then his attorney lies in the court and allegedly lies that he didn't. He said he mistakenly believed and advised this client to go, show me a PPO. The PPO tells you where you can't go. Where was he at? The exact address he was told to not be at. Not just that. Can you put up the one with the watch? He also violated by stalking her, allegedly, but it's on the watch. I want you to see it. Where can you talk? Can you press that? And then it says we're about to go at 9 o'clock. Oh, it's not going to play the video. And then it states Lewis. He sent it to Liddell Lewis. He sent her location with the video, allegedly to 4 people, but you're seeing it on here. This was tied to a cell phone. This is her location, and this is Liddell. Oh no, that was TC, but it was 4 people. Big Time, which is Mayor Neely, sent it to Liddell Lewis, a lady named Tiara, and Tim. And then on this one, he says, oh no, this is where he's saying we have to send Tonya something. So you also gonna know there was a thing with this lady Yumiki, and we'll go over that shortly, where they actually called that lady someone and pretended to be the victim. Because I answered 2 emails and helped a victim, I have gotten involved with some ludicrous stuff that they're doing. If you didn't want people to get involved in the courts, you should have never put your hands on her. So on here is where it's Liddell Lewis. Here is the live video. He sent Liddell Lewis the video. He violated this is the day he got out of jail. And she goes, let's go around 9 o'clock. Where y'all going? To the video up above where she sent the location, and she's walking in the house from the driveway to the front door and she's being stalked in the camera and sending out the location. So tell me and help me understand, how do a PPO work? That you can do whatever the hell you want to, and the victim keeps getting re-victimized again, and again.
Yeah, it did. Huh. Yeah. This is to Liddell Lewis.
And help me understand that. You have a councilwoman knowing he's sending her location to her, and they're going to go above the video. Where are you going at 9 o'clock? To where she's at? Where are you going? What are you doing? This is not okay. But the fact that, and this is quoting MLive's article. It's quoting MLive. They said mistakenly believed that he could go there. I have never in my life heard that. Not ever in my entire life have I heard that. So I do want to say, keep her in your prayers. September 23rd is a long time off. He's violated this PPO. He had $7,500 bond, $750 got him out of jail. When he got out, he sent their location to 4 different people. I've gotten death threats. My producer, Jay, has gotten them, and it's still going on. And the attorney gets in there and says, well, basically, I'm going to take one for the team. I told him, basically, allegedly, he could still go. It's poppycock. It's bullshit. At no way can you go where she's at. The address is on there. You can't go here. You can't. He had no business being there. Where he said he didn't live, where she took all his clothes and put them in garbage bags. He can't even serve on the City of Flint Council. And it's something else, because my attorney was saying, hey, you need to understand that this is going to be a problem. Because everything he voted on with him not being a resident is subject to be reviewed. Because he didn't live where he said he lived, allegedly to represent. That has been turned over to the city clerk, the Michigan State Police, the State Board of Elections. I mean, the stuff just keeps going rampant. Also, I told he was upset he didn't get that $150,000 with ARPA. A legal opinion has been out for a year. He went off on the department people down there because he didn't get it. He was told he would get it. Then he said he was going to withhold his vote if he didn't get it, that he wasn't going to be their fifth vote. He would not be their fifth vote because he wanted his $150,000. See, that was part of his deal. If I don't get it, then I'm going to withhold my vote. I was told I could get it. People are talking. And people are now talking to the FBI. I mean, this is crazy to me. But this is the reality. So we had the young lady, Yumiki, who put up the thing. And it was a post that was made. The post that was made was very cryptic. I never told the young lady. I don't talk to her every day. I do not. And so the post was made, which was really weird because it was shared through everything that Leon had. And so the post that she made was, it said, to the city council lady, Tonya Burns, that reached out me concerning domestic violence. I did not reach out to her. Someone else did. City Councilman Leon L. Alameen, you are playing a dangerous game and playing someone's life for political gain. And there's nothing for me to gain here. I did not reach out to her. I did not. Someone else did. I didn't know her. You're playing a very dangerous game in someone's life for political gain. Nothing to gain here politically. There's times I wish I hadn't even answered the email. And that is not acceptable. The organization is here to help ladies get help, not to tear someone. You did a 5-hour podcast of showing pictures and text messages. The victim sent the text messages to A10 News Media Group, who broke the story with the watch. 5 hours of showing pictures and text messages. Not true, lady. You did not watch my show. This doesn't make you a bigger person. You may contact me personally. I absolutely did contact her and spoke with her. And then can you put up the video? Now, who took this? And when I talked to her, I said, you should have called me. You had my number. I didn't reach out to her originally, but I did speak to her. I never shared with the victim, this person, because she was already getting assistance. So not this one, I'm sorry. It is a, it looks like a I'm sorry. It is, I apologize. It's like a screenshot of a phone. And every share was to Leon's Facebook's pages, every single one. So my response to her, which we had a civil conversation, but you call somebody to ask. I asked the victim, had she called? She said she had spoken to her. She says, no, I did not speak with her. She says she did not speak with her. So someone impersonated the victim, called this individual person and pretended to be her. And my comment back to her after the statement was, please note that I have no idea what is going on, nor what you're talking about. What I do believe is that you receive calls from someone other than the victim. If you click on the share button, you will see that all of the shares went to the alleged domestic violence abuser, Leon L. Alameen, and it'll be his pages. There is no political gain for anyone involved. The victim reached out to me on July 10th, 2025, as she needed assistance. She was connected to an advocacy agency and is working with authorities. Respectfully, I'm asking that you remove this erroneous post. So can we play where you see it's connected? The victim said she didn't do it. I don't know who contacted this lady pretending to be her. Have nothing to do with this. And so people were sending me this, and I had to file another police report. So when you click on it, you see it goes to Leon El Abdullah and Abdullah. All of these are his pages. They're all his pages. And so each of these, it was shared immediately after she said the phone call came in about 1:00, and then it was shared to his pages. So the pages that it was shared to, I say was the Abdullah Maid Institute. It was shared to, and you can see the screenshot which shows when you click on it. Abdullah El Alameen, Leon El Alameen, Flint Positivity Project. These are the names of the groups that these are his groups. Flint Positivity Project, Leon El Alameen, Abdullah. And so he shared this fake post, and then they put it over in that group Flint Politics because people sent it to me. And so the lady said she was changing her number, and she had contacted her attorney. She contacted her attorney because she had a conversation. The information was not true. She was stating that the victim didn't have parents and her mother wasn't involved. I have stated that it's just not true. She has parents. Her father, Jairus Martin, I played part of his video. He was very well spoken. He spoke about the pain that he saw his daughter go through. He spoke about domestic violence. The dad did, I believe, 2 shows, Jairus Martin did. So I don't know who she spoke to, but it was a problem. And so I have not spoken back to the lady, but what we did do is get received. Now they worried about this 5-hour thing. No, I did receive from with other producer Jay that we did receive the threat, and the threat was they sent the little, what do you call it? Well, they was cussing me out, I guess, and him out. They called him 205 times before he cut the phone off. 205 times before he cut the phone off. And when he cut the phone off, he made the police report online. The detectives did follow up. I also made a police report. And so in this, it states they sent to him. And then this one is the same thing as what they're similar about the number of hours or time that they're watching the post. And in this one they put, and this is not my language, this is with the 205 calls that they sent to producer Jay of the Tonya Burns show. And they put, "A bitch, you must think your bitch ass can't be touched in Georgia. Ho sitting up gossiping with a female on a podcast for hours. Watch your motherfucking back, bitch ass nigga. I'ma get you and that bitch." Then 4 gun emojis. "She's using your stupid ass anyway." So because I'm tied to her by helping her, tell me where this has nothing to do with political gain. Nothing. So these thugs out here thugging, which gonna catch their ass back up in prison, because you cannot threaten elected officials. You cannot. This was across state lines. He lives in Georgia. He has filed the complaint, and you're still doing it with this woman. So how it goes is, if I'm tied to her, the PPO, Leon gonna have some problems. If you didn't want people helping her, you shouldn't have put your hands on her, allegedly. But I was in the examination room. I seen the bruises. Her mother was sitting to the left of me. We didn't leave like 5:30 in the morning, I believe, from the hospital. So this is the mess that they do. You send out, first of all, the $750, $7,500 bond, too low. It's a felony with strangulation, less than murder. Then a misdemeanor for domestic violence. Then we have, as soon as he gets out, he sends out 4 text messages to people of her location with a video. And he has a tether. His tether will show he was at that house. Judge Vicky, the tether's going to show he was at the house, not just the handyman. The tether on his ankle going to show he was at the house when he wasn't supposed to be. It has location on it. He has violated it, and then the attorney says, well, he didn't know, that he didn't know that he couldn't be there. The personal protection order tells him when he got out. Judge Tabitha Marsh read that to him. He goes, and then what about the 4 times he's sending her location out? Then he violates, it wasn't just the handyman. The tether shows that he was there. She don't go back to court to September 23rd. This young lady is still living in fear. Because why? The system is working for him, not for her. He done violated it technically 5 times. 4 times he's sent to 4 different people. And then he is sent it to, he showed up at the house. You can't do that. And you cannot threaten people who have helped her either. You can't do that shit either. You cannot threaten people who have assisted her, and that's associated with her. You can't do that either, in case you didn't know. So listen, we can't take calls, and I want to thank everybody that has been on. Y'all click like, share, and subscribe. I wanted to get that in. Look, Marcia, and you know what? Marcia Tober was here and sending you, so she came all the way from California and spoke so eloquently and then to the points and issues. And Marcia, thank you for supporting Flint, period, and the different platforms. And she is a lovely person and a lovely spirit. Thank you for caring about Flint. Thank you. And she actually flew here from from California, not LA, from the state of California. So Stanley would say, what is his current house that his tether is tied to? I don't know, but we know it's not the one in Mount Morris Township, because you cannot be in Mount Morris Township where he retrieved his clothes and be a Flint city councilman. I have no idea what it's tied to, Stanley, but I can tell you this, he continues to violate it, and it's a problem. Landon, I want to thank you for making sure that we could go on and get it out today. So stay tuned to both of the stations to see when we're going out. So as information is given, we will update and we will talk about it. Making sure you get good information to discuss. And there's still a lot more that we're going to cover. So Landon, can you put up the donation? If you can please donate to Landon Hendricks Studios. Without these shows, they could not be possible. We need your support. Local studio, Urban News Station Flint, and producer, Cash App, $ Hendricks with the RIX Studios, $ Hendricks Studio. Anything is appreciated. You get $5, $2, $10, $25. If you feel that you want to give more, it is greatly appreciated. I do not get any of this. This is to make sure that I can get good information to each and every one of you so that we can have the integrity of so somebody in Flint can have some integrity, and to make sure you get information that we need. Pray for the Lawson family as they go through this debacle. Now, they got a great attorney, Frank Manley. Also for the young lady who was the victim. And here's someone called this lady. It is alleged that they called her pretending to be her. She's got a process to go through. Here it is. He's violating, the attorney said he didn't know that you couldn't go to the site of the house. I'm baffled by that. Baffled, befuddled, disgusted. So to each and every one of you, I appreciate you for coming on. There is a council meeting on Monday. Dr. Producer J, point of order. You still have 3 hours. No, I don't, Producer J. We wrapping this one up. So we wrapping this one up. I told you I have something that I am going to the gun range with my son. And so that is what we will be doing. And is it my birthday gift, or it was supposed to be my Mother's Day gift? We haven't had time. I believe in the right to carry, because some of these folks out here, seriously, is a problem. And as I shared with you before, the officer, and it's funny, the officer that told me I need to talk to the mayor, he quit. He no longer works in the city of Flint either. He left, and it's just, we know that is a problem. And I'm going to say this: pray for our police department. Pray for our leadership of the police department. And as much as I go at, and I'm not saying go at, I want Chief Green to make sure he keeps the city safe. I support our officers. They get the lowest pay in the county. They deserve a fair wage. They deserve to not be pulled apart, to be driven so hard. And it is stressful. So say a prayer for our police. And if you're right, I'm going to support you. If you're wrong, I'm going to call you out. Spraying people was wrong. It's going to have to be some uncomfortable conversations to where we can get at a place of trust. Big Shady, hey, Big Shady, can you wear Chief's t-shirt again, Miss Burns? What t-shirt was that? Nope, not today. So pray for our police department, because this is serious, and pray for the residents of Flint, because we need prayer. Someone said to me, it was Sheena, she put up something that was very enlightening, that we have Native Americans, we're on this ground. And as long as we keep getting people who mistreat the ground, the earth, that Flint has got like a dark cloud over it. And we keep getting leadership that treats the residents terrible, because they're not doing right by the residents. And we need to remove this cloud. We need to. So say a prayer for the residents. Say a prayer for those who have been victims of domestic violence, and a prayer for those who have been victims of police brutality and assault. And pray that our police get proper training. They need proper training, and they need to pull back in, and it needs to be not on a computer, but in person. They need it. So praying for our police department also, that they be better police officers, so that they're to serve and protect the public. So anyways, he said on my Facebook page, I see. And I want to say thank you to Patrick Jean, who's a moderator, and thank you to Sheena Baxton, the 2 moderators who help us to get this through. And also, if you donate to Hendrix Studios, we would greatly appreciate it. Everything is appreciated. This show is funded by you, and it's brought by me to each of you. And it is not funded with any other dollars other than your dollars that support this format and this show. So if you can donate to Hendrix Studios, can you put it back up before we go off, Landon? He tied me up. Hendrix Studios, support your local urban news station, Flint, and producer Cash App, $ Hendrix Studios. They had listen, Landon, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, any donations are greatly appreciated, and we definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in today.
All right. Well, and with that, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm sending each and every one of you love. Thank you for sharing your time with me. And if I didn't mention your name in the comments, Jessica Stewart, Sherry Adam, Lenny McNeely, Lorraine Lawson, yes, prayers up to the city. If I did not mention your name, Belinda Patton, Deborah Overman, Tracy Jones, Minton Tamau, Sonia Carbano, Stanley Wood, Taylor Sampson, Shantae Merson, John Mallett, Charles Erickson, Tasha Lynn, Teresa Nestor, Anthony Prevost, Paulette Williams, Kevin Giles, Tanya Jones, Sonia Simpson. Listen, I ain't going. Y'all know I just like I ain't going. Merc 76, big shady. Look, he is a little shady, a little bit, and everyone else. Well, who do we have? Oh God, what is her name? Anyways, Kevin Tate, thank you. Philip Johnson, thank you. So, anyways, y'all click like, share. If you have not subscribe so that we can help the Flint Urban News Station meet their goals. So, if you're on here, click like, share, and just subscribe. It's free. Subscribing is free. I need that from you. It's your part. Please subscribe. All right, we out of here. Thanks.